Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I'll be making two cards featuring some products from Spellbinders. I am going to start off by doing a little bit of better pressing. I've got the Spotlight Circle Duo and this is a really cool set of better press plates. They're kind of a little abstract. One of them has this really nice stripy design, and this first one that I'm pressing, it's kind of that, what do they call it? I think it's, like those half-tone dots, I think, and I see a lot of this with kind of that comic book style look, and I'm kind of curious to use this with some of my superhero stamps and dies. But for this card, what I thought about doing is I'm going to press these two plates multiple times on a single panel, and I kind of want to overlap them and see what happens when you overlap these. So what I've pulled out is a color cube card. And the reason for it is, well, firstly, I just got it, so still very excited to use it. But secondly, my video today is actually part of a Crafty Fun with Friends collaboration hop that I organize every month. Some months we hop on Instagram, and this month we happen to be hopping on YouTube. And the theme for this collaboration is to craft with our least favorite color. For me, I don't know that I necessarily dislike any colors, but the color that I use the least would have to be orange. Now, if you spotted the orange card that I made a couple weeks ago, it was to kind of get myself a little bit in the mood of crafting with orange and get a little bit of practice in as well for this hop. Because orange, I just feel like I never really craft with it unless I need it for like a very specific object that happens to be orange. But I don't think of it as a color, as a go-to color for creating a background, for example. So because of that, I don't have a lot of go-to color combinations that include orange, so that's why I went to the color cube. Now, I'll show the two panels that I make here in a bit, and I will be making two cards. This one, I decided to take 3 colors out of that color palette, and I'm inking the same Better Press plate with all 3 colors. I don't want to cross-contaminate my ink pads though, so what I did was I inked the plate right up to the border of where it would normally meet with the color next to it, and then I used a little brush to kind of blend between the two right at that border. And I'll do that again. I really like the look of this, and so I'm gonna make another one, so you'll see me do that again. So here I'm just inking the blue areas, and to be honest, I would go, if you were gonna do this, I would go with your lightest color first, because if you get a little bit of your lighter color onto your darker ink pad, it's not the end of the world because the darker ink is gonna overwhelm it so much. But if you accidentally got a little bit of that dark ink into your lighter ink pad, you'd have to stamp it out a couple times to really make sure that that you got rid of that dark ink. But if you're careful, then you won't have to worry about that at all. Just use a brush like I did to blend between the borders. That way you don't have any harsh lines. You get a nice smooth blend between those colors, and no contamination of your ink pads. So if you want to see what my friends are crafting it with and what their least favorite colors are, then just expand the description box below. There'll be a playlist where I have collected all of the collaboration videos on a single playlist, and you'll see videos from this collaboration as well as past collaborations. They're all there for you. Every time we do one of these collaborations, it's a bit of a different theme. Last month, we crafted with our favorite color, which I thought was a lot of fun because it was kind of interesting to hop around and see what everybody's favorite color was. I felt like I got to know everybody a little bit better, and I'm curious to hop and check out everybody's video for the same reason this month to see what everybody's least favorite color is. And I hope that I don't know how everybody else has felt in taking on this collaboration, but I hope that it has had the same effect on them as it has had on me, just to break me out of the mindset of always reaching for the same colors. I don't know about you, but I often buy things that come in multicolor packs, like cardstock that come in multiple colors, markers that come in multiple colors, and inevitably I have some colors that I run out of first and have to refill, and then I have some colors that I just never touch. So I hope that in doing this hop, maybe will inspire you to also reach for some of the colors that you don't often craft with as well. Now, with this first card, I decided to die cut out some of these stems. It's actually from, I think, the Sealed collection, which came out with some stamps and dies that you could do faux wax seals with, but certainly you could use a real wax seal to kind of hold together these stems. But I'm not going to use a wax seal at all. I'm actually using a bit of washi tape, which is also kind of different for me too. I don't always grab my washi when I go to make cards. This washi is really gorgeous though. You can't really see it on camera very well, but it's actually a glitter. It's a black glitter washi tape. And because washi is low tack by design, I did put a little bit of liquid adhesive behind that so that it's nice and well stuck down. I'm going to also finish up this card with some black sequins. I did pour out this mix and it had some black, some gold, some silver. And I thought for a moment to try gold, but because the ombre in the circle it kind of looks like a sunset, and so I thought gold might be nice. But in the end, I just stuck with black. So, and don't worry, I'll do a close-up look at both cards at the end. But here's the second card. So this is actually the first panel that I better pressed. And it was actually kind of interesting what happens in the overlap. Because if you'll recall, I better pressed the dots first, and then I better pressed the stripy circle second. And in some cases, the orange dots are very vivid because when you do better pressing, it actually pushes into your cardstock. And I think that's why the colors didn't really mix in some areas, because it was pushed down into the cardstock, so you can really see the bright orange still, but where the plates actually overlap and then there's overlapping color, you can kind of see a little bit of an overlap of the color, and in some cases you can still see the bright orange. It's kind of interesting how that worked out. I'm going to play with that more, the idea of better pressing and overlapping your better press designs. Now here, what I'm doing is just making some of my own solid color cardstock using the same inks that I better pressed with. I just swiped them across some white cardstock. That way, if you happen to not have a lot of different colored cardstock, you can't find an exact match to your project, and you've stamped it and used it somewhere else, well, here you can make your own cardstock and it's going to match 100%. So I've swiped out some of the orange and I die cut the word hello, which is from the Lisa Horton's latest collection. I think it's the Spotlight collection. That's where these circle better press plates came from. And the hello is really nice. There's actually 3 dies that you can layer. And you could actually, you don't have to use all the layers if you don't want to, but I like the look of a lot of mats and layers, so I'm going to use all 3 of those die cuts. And I'm going to start with this panel here where, again, I just took the same ink that I better pressed with and swiped along all 4 edges to create a matte layer. And then I'll put my better press panel down and everything's going to match 100% because it's all the same ink pads that I used. And so I'll go ahead and stack these letters or the word hello. Actually, the nice thing about this die set is that all of the letters are connected, so it's really easy to position this because it's all one single piece, which is kind of nice. I think there were other sentiments in this collection as well. I have hello and smile, which I really like. Now, I'm going to position this so that hopefully this card, I feel more than the first one, really does celebrate orange a lot more because I've used it as the border. I've used it in the background that I created with the circles, and then I've brought it all the way to the foreground in the sentiment. So I feel like with this card, I've really sort of embraced the orange, and I'm actually kind of surprised I don't craft with it more often. I believe is a complementary color to orange, and blue is my favorite color. Teal more specifically, but the whole family of blues is my favorite. So I'll have to remember that blue and orange go really well together. So I'm going to put this sentiment right in the center here so that it kind of overlaps with that circle background, which I think is, it kind of helps that the surrounding ink color is the same because it gives you a little bit of a solid line all the way around the sentiment. And so here's a final look at both of my cards. Really love how this turned out. And these Spotlight Better Press plates are a lot of fun. Here is the first card that I made, and the sentiments from this are actually Better Press sentiments as well. But they're from a different collection. They're from the Timeless Sentiments collection. I'll leave links to everything in the description box below, as well as a link to the collaboration playlist where you can find all of the other videos from my friends who've taken up the challenge to craft with their least favorite colors. I hope you'll check out everybody else's video. Thanks for checking out mine today. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.